Alright, so I did a little more searching around, digging around, and we'll see if we can get it to work with this or not. If we can't, we'll switch over to boost. However, I keep forgetting that this boost is, the files I have for this boost are lib files are for whatchamacallit, 2013. So we're going to convert this function. No. Alright, done. 2012 projects. Test bed, where are ya? Oh, is that even in here? The frick? That's interesting. It's not a part of 10, is it? No. It might be in this folder if it opens up. No thanks to bloody Logitech. A lot of my, a lot of the features on these Logitech devices get really slowed down by this stupid bug in this software. It might be in here. Let's see. Games. No. Shit. Where the hell's it at then? See test programs. Open containing folder. Oh, it is in 10. Wow. Okay. So that's, well, no, we'll copy it. Doom, 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 doom. How bloody long are you gonna take, you damn operating system? 5 seconds remaining, 10 seconds ago. Finally. Alright, now we're gonna run this SLN with 2013, and we're going to make the necessary conversions, although some of them won't work now because we're in 2013 instead of 2012. But we'll deal with that when and if we ever need to. So, multi-threading, let's see, a threading test we called it. Isn't that what the hell, what the fuck, man? What the frick? I thought I called it threading test. Get in here, man. I don't see nothing. I guess when I was supposed to save it, never did or something. Oh well. So we create it. Huh. Already exists, but I can't see the damn thing. Let's see, add existing project. Okay, it is here, it just wasn't added for whatever stupid reason. There we go. Set a startup. No source file though. Oh, shut the hell up. How can it already exist? Because I already created it. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense, I guess. Okay, so instead of going with boost first, let's go with something else. What is this open for? Shouldn't be open. Probably go ahead and close Dreamweaver too. Wow, so laggy. Because this goddamn thing. Now check up and say Logitech gaming software is crapped out. Okay, it didn't this time. Good. Sometimes it will though. It'll when it opens up, it'll crash out because it's being a freaking retarded pain in the ass before. So threading. This is what we found here. It's not a true thing, but we can kind of piece together what's going on here. So include thread. That's where we want to start. So that's how you instantiate a thread in C++ 11. But first, we need to have something for it to instantiate with. Unlike in C#, threads and maybe other types of languages, threads are not an object in and of themselves. They're actually kind of a execution space where functions are loaded into or called from asynchronously. So instead of having a thread that exists and is running just on its own, in C++, threads, as far as I can gather, are just kind of things that will call threads asynchronously, not like a traditional thread thing, if you will. That explanation probably sucks like hell, but have to roll with it here. Alright, so what we want to do now is, again, we want to go over here, and first we'll include IO stream, include thread, include string, and no. Alright, so using std thread, using std syn, using std cout, and then int main and return 0. Alright, so we're also going to create another class in here as well. We're going to call it because what we're going to do is we're going to create a function or a program. Essentially what's going to do is it's going to be a program that's going to deposit a certain amount of money into a bank account and then withdraw a certain amount, a certain percent of the total money in the account. And those are going to be based on two different threads. And you're going to be able to set through input the value that should be added and taken out, and we'll start with that just for starters, and then we'll add in some other stuff like being able to interrupt the threads and change the values you want to use. So it's something that kind of will allow us to kind of see how threads work and see ways of interacting with them that we may need to be used in the game. So first we need to create a class called employee. Well, no, let's make it bank. We'll make it bank because we're going to be interacting with an account in a bank. So going with employee and bank would well, you could do it, but it'd be more complicated than it needs to be at the moment. So class bank public bank. So void deposit, I'll say D money, and we'll pass through a is there a currency class in C++? Or currency type? Best type to represent money. Let's see, oh, shit. There we go. I just set to only show things created in the last 24 hours, so we couldn't find anything. Decimal. Interesting. Well, frack it. We're just gonna use an int. Screw sense. Sense does not exist in this world. So int money. And yes, it did just type money. That's not a typo. That is intentional. Of course, we need the semicolon. Void okay, now what we'll do is we'll have that. But I also want to then, we'll pass through here an int. So we'll pass through an initial deposit amount and the withdrawal amount. So deposit money, and then void W money, which we won't need to pass anything. Then we want to be able to see how much money is in the account. So we'll go ahead and say return a int get money, and then private int, so bank account money, float bank account withdrawal amount, alright. And then we'll go ahead and do the functions. So we also need to do a void change we need to be able to change the withdrawal amount if we want to. I guess let's go ahead and do them inside of the class. So and then probably should do it this way anyway in this case. BAW amount. BAW amount. Oh. Ammo nuts. Nice. Amount. So deposit money is going to be BA money plus equals Monet. Then this will be BAW amount equals W amount. Now whatever this is called, what we want to say is BA money equals BA money divided by the float. So BAW amount, and then return BA money. Alright, so now back over to our creating a thread thing here. So now we need to say bool thread B thread is running, that equals true. Bool B thread interrupt. And then we need I think that's all we need for the moment. So while I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here. First, we need to create a bank account. So bank B1 equals nothing. So this is going to be rough. Well, because we have to pass through our values here, so I don't know if that's how withdrawal is spelled or not. Withdrawal. I think it's withdrawal to AWAL. I think it's correct. I'll leave it both ways. So we got it up there with DRAWL. Alright, now we want to go ahead and create the bank account using pchoice1 and pchoice2. So while thread's running, so we want to instantiate the thread out here. Or no. Okay. So you want to instantiate the thread in here. Let's see, Oh, I see. Into the thread function. And when is this from 1 year ago? Damn. Well, we'll just see what happens. You know, screw it. So, going back over to here. So I just want to do the thread whatever equals new, or thread whatever, then whatever function we want it to call into. So thread bank thread. Okay, so bank D money P choice 1, or no, then the functions to pass. And then stupid. Alright, let's see if it builds or not. Hey, it built. What do you know? Okay, now let's go ahead and run a debug. So starting deposit amount, we'll say 100. And we'll say 0.01 for 10%. And what happens 100? That's right, it deadlocked. Because you have to do the join at the end. Well, no, because it should still be going through that. Interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see. Interesting. Well, that's interesting. Well, let's kill the pawns here and see what happens. Should be interesting. Debug error, abort has been called. Okay, so that means that the thread was ended, but there was no join. And that's what that error is about. So let's add a, so it's bank thread, which essentially just kind of rejoins the thread to the main function, the main execution function, which in a sense, which in and of itself is like a thread that's run by default. But you have to do that in order to get it to kind of reset, if you will, just to kind of put it in layman's terms. Alright, let's try this again. There we go. Now we gotta go in through a bunch of times. However, it's not updating the value, which is fine. We need to figure out why that's the case for. I don't believe it's calling that function correctly. So oh, no wait, bar, foobar, bar. Oh, shit. I forgot about bind. You need to use bind. Now let's see what happens. Still 100. So let's see. So yeah, that's how that happens. I'm missing one key detail somehow. Okay, let's see. Just software solutions. That's pretty much how I have mine set up right here. So print this x, x, ref x. So string constant message by count message DNL. Does it have to be a literal? You have to pass a literal value. In other words, you can't pass through a variable. Or can you do that? Let's see. Windows function. Which is where we just were. Damn. Maybe not. Or maybe so. So let's see. Push back, threads, push back. Interesting. So pointer to a function, pointer to a member, or any kind of move constructible function object. Arguments passed to the call of fn, if any. Maybe we have to do an std ref. On B1. There we go. Now it's working. So you have to pass the... Okay. Sweet. Let's go ahead and put this back in. Oh no, wait, that wasn't the right place. Never mind. So there you go. There's a good example of how this would work now. So, now what we want to do is we want to then put in another thread kind of thing here, which will then take out the withdrawal element. So I'm going to say thread bank thread bind and bank and then W money ref B1 and nothing else. And same thing, count B1 dot get money I'm going to do the drawing too. Oh, damn. was wondering about that. Easily remedied. Oops. We did it backwards. It should be multiplied, not divided by. Well, that's interesting. Oh, again, we're doing this wrong. There. So we're taking 10 off. Depositing another one, and you get to see how that works now. Now let's go and do something a little more large. So let's say 2,000, but 0.7. So as you can see now, very slowly, it's going downward because, oh, see now it's hit a loop. It's at a point where the total entered and the amount taken out will always be the same result. So here's what I'm going to do now. Let's go ahead and add in some other things here. Let's take out the pauses and these. Now let's say if b1 dot get money is less than let's say less than 500, bt running equals false. So if the account ever drops below 500, essentially kill this while loop, so kill the threads. And then count So let's go ahead and put in 10,000. Well, let's just close this now. So initial deposit. So we're going to say that each operation that this will do is going to be a month. Alright, so the initial amount, let's say that you have to have 250 to open a bank account. So Well, no, it has to be higher than 500, otherwise you end up with that situation. So let's say you have to have 2,000. So the amount to withdrawal per month, let's say 0.25, and we'll deposit monthly a amount of 1420. So apparently the program is, that's too much. So let's add in something else now that'll cause another break case. Else if x is greater than 100 months. Have the same effect as this, except we also want to say b bool financial success. So if not financial success, then call that else count So what will happen now is that if x becomes greater than 100, we'll kill the loop here and then process the code here, which will print out how much money you have after X number of months. Well, this will always be 101 though, this X. So it would be, maybe we'd have something where this would be a random variable. Maybe we'll add that in as the next thing. So let's go ahead and run it. Or we'll compile it, then run it. So we'll start again with 2,000. And withdrawal size will be 0.20. And then we'll deposit 600 a month. So as you can see, the account never dropped below $500 during the time, and executed like that, just instantly. Now let's go and see what's actually going on in the background here. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and print out the end result of a month's worth of operations here. So I also want to do a system pause because we want to actually be able to see the output as it's coming through the pipe, instead of having just to see a blur of text. So with those values, we ended up in financial ruin. if you couldn't live off of more than 500 for a month or something. I don't know. So it went to 90 to 632 to 489 because it couldn't keep up. So let's again then do one where we go in this case here now we're just continually building. So our income exceeds our expenditures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to print out exactly how much of an expenditure we have though. So I'm going to add another count line here. Count. So say which is going to be P choice 1 times P choice 2. Then say so we get more of a verbose kind of output here. So for month 0, income 458, expenses 109.92, total account value for first month 1868. As you can see, we're slowly going down because that's a good question. Why is it going down for? Because that's an increase. It's still, you know, the income is higher than the expenses. Oh, because we are we're deducting the expense from the account. Next, we're deducting the expense from the account instead of what's been put in. So, like for example, so what we want to do is this. BP with roll. So we want to take this out of the income. So BP deposit